Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in The Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we find out from Della Fain what is hot in bourbon barrel-aged beers. Well, this fall.
Yes,
My name
this is the
Miss
time.
Beka Sue.
Yeah.
This is this fall.
This is
My name is
when
Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guest, Dylan Rozier. I knew I was going to fuck it up. And Della Fain.
Hey, gang, what's up?
I told you I'd do it.
That was wonderful. That was a wonderful intro.
What a
You got it.
I am.
You got
You know, it's amazing. I've only been doing this for.
I'm going to submit that for the daytime podcast Emmys this year. We'll see.
Can't wait.
We'll use this episode as the one we submit.
That's a winner right there.
I think so. All right. We are going to be talking to Della. She's been writing for me for 5 years now. Your 5-year anniversary gift is in the mail, Della. I'm very excited. Can't wait for you to see that. I got your address the other day. It's on the way.
Oh my God. I can't wait.
That's cool. That's cool. So, so I think she's the leading, probably, media person in the country about barrel aged beers. I mean, she's been writing about it for over 5 years now, so amazing to think about. But before we talk about that stuff, let's talk to Miss Beka Sue, because she said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Beka?
So at this point, it's probably been a couple weeks ago. But Heidi Fosnot and Jim Fosnot came to visit us just recently. And Heidi said that she found something that she saw and immediately thought of me when she saw it. And what it is a stealth flask. The audience can't see this, but it says Hawaiian Island sunscreen lotion, SPF 30. This is a legit, this is legit in smuggling things in. I would have no idea that this is not how would you have any idea this is not lotion? And on top of it, it's like, well, they could just open it up. Well, it comes with seals. It comes with actual seals
solid.
to put onto this. Okay. So you would have absolutely no idea that this is not, other than at the bottom of this, it says distributed by smuggleYourBooze.inc. So other than that,
but look, it looks like it holds a lot too. Like, what's that size?
8 fluid ounces in this thing.
That's
okay.
nice.
Yeah, I'll get you right at the beach. Yeah,
it says sheer lightweight, very, very water resistant. It says in here, enriched with aloe vera. I mean, this thing, there's no reason why someone would think that this is not.
You're probably going to start a bunch of kids who are also at the beach. They see you drinking out of your suntan lotion. They'll probably start it too. So for the audience, I don't know if she explained it. It looks like suntan lotion. Yeah,
Mommy,
it'll be a
give me a
thing.
sip of your suntan lotion.
Look at the lady drinking the suntan
funniest thing
lotion.
about it is on the back, it says food grade plastic flask that you can use at a concert, festival, beach fair, sporting event, amusement parks, cruises, golf courses, everywhere. The new convenient way to bring your beverage of choice into any event, anywhere, no hassle. Okay, no hassle as long as they don't read that.
Well, they never read
but
that.
I didn't even notice.
A lot of times they'll be like, open your purse, and you open it up, and they just look at it and be like, oh, okay, you're good. No, never mind. You're good.
They never see my guns or my knives.
If you can sneak a gun through, now that's saying something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry if she can get through with a gun.
Yeah. So With this being said, I wanted to know if you guys have ever smuggled alcohol into anywhere. And if you did, what was your most creative way of smuggling it? Or maybe no one has other than myself. But I just want to know if anyone else has ever smuggled booze in to a event or to somewhere that maybe they shouldn't have it at.
The easiest one is water bottles, because you can sneak in rum, you can sneak in vodka, gin, all the clear spirits. I mean, I know a lot of people that stick stuff in their boobs, but I could never do that. I don't know what I could stick in these to sneak into place, but I guess the easiest place would be like stick it in a water bottle, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done that before where they, drinking at the beach things, no public consumption, but I brought stuff to the beach all the time when I go. So that's no big deal.
Well, how do you sneak it out there, Steve? What do you use? Do you just put it in a bag?
I've used like an empty Coke bottle before. And again, I guess if you were really looking at it, you'd be like, well, that's not the right color of Coke, but I've never had anybody. Well,
that's why I want to see what your guys' tips and tricks are to sneak
that amber colored Coke.
It don't look that close.
I've never taken anything through a metal detector. So that, a lot of events today, you got to go through a metal detector, and I've never, taken it, which you could do with the thing you've got there that looks like suntan lotion. I've never done that, but kids games. I mean, gosh, to get through when my daughter was, playing field hockey, you got to take a flask. I mean, that's just, you just have to be discreet when drinking it. Yeah. There's no checking of me, but I don't think they want you drinking at the high school games, but what are you going to do? I got to make figure out a way to get through this stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right, Dylan, how about you, man? You ever snuck in some booze in anywhere?
I'm a huge Chiefs fan, so we used to go to Chiefs games. We go to Chiefs games a lot. Usually it's cold, you're bundled up. It doesn't really take much. I mean, a lot of times those where we snuck stuff in a lot of times, or I've always gone with just kind of hiding in plain sight.
A good place is in your hood, when you wear a hoodie and you stick the stuff in your hood and your hood is down. Even if they pat you down, they never pat your hood down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't.
See, I knew that maybe you guys
that's why you would tell
they don't pat the hood down. You're right.
That one you get for free.
Yeah.
This is why they're wearing hoodies in Arizona when it's 78
90.
degrees or 80. They're like, oh, it's so cold. Well, now I know why they're sneaking flask into stuff. Yeah. It's not because they're cold.
The greatest thing that has happened in more recent years is, so there's bags of wine, obviously, that have been around for a while, right?
Right.
Sure.
But now they also have bags of whiskey and vodka, tequila, almost every sort of alcohol. They have bags of it. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not that alcohol is good. Okay.
Oh, it's definitely not.
That's not what that's not what I'm touching on.
Right.
That has nothing to do with it. The quality of the alcohol.
We're not talking high quality.
Nothing to do with the quality of it in the bags. But one of the last fairs that we went to, the purse that I had two separate compartments where it wasn't meant to be a secret one, but it definitely was more hidden. And like they always look inside your bag and they kind of like check you out to make sure that you're not sneaking anything in. And so what we did was we emptied out half the bag because it was it was very heavy, and there was no reason that we needed like a gallon of vodka in my purse. And so we emptied about half the bag out, and then the rest of it I put into this like side pouch that zipped closed that wasn't too obvious. And then even if they felt it, like there wasn't a flask to feel. It was just because it was liquid in a fucking plastic bag. And so we just did that, and like they like felt my purse. It was a little bit heavier than it should be because there was just like a wallet and my phone in there. But I just set it on the table, and so they didn't pick it up to see if it was heavy. And they just felt around, and it felt fine. And then once we got inside, then we just were chugging out of this bag of vodka.
I want to say something. I do want to say something for the record here. So this is on this show that was released originally October 24th. When I die, if my friends aren't sneaking in flasks into the funeral home as that's going on, I'm pissed. I'll come back and haunt your ass if I can. You should be. Let's say, hey, you didn't do it unless you killed me. You didn't do it. So yeah, let's have a little celebration too. Let's not sit there and cry and be sad. Let's drink some booze. Because that's what I'd be doing.
I will get wasted at your funeral, Steve.
Thank you.
You don't worry about a damn thing. I will be drunk. I'll be bewildered at your funeral.
This will be good. Yeah, I would expect nothing less. So yeah, there you go.
I'll show your intervention though, Steve. Just so you know.
No, God, yeah. No, I mean, if the audience hasn't heard this, apparently when COVID started, I was drinking a lot. At least it appeared to be, because I was killing all these heels. I had all these bottles that had the last pour left.
You had 8 a.m. daytime drinking with
I was doing that.
Every morning you were day drinking, and it got earlier and earlier. So at 10, and then it was 9, right. Then it was like 8, and I think I saw one at 7 o'clock in the morning with your duck that came to visit you.
Yes.
So you can't say that there wasn't maybe a little bit more excessive drinking than normal.
My wife never talked to me about it at the time, but about a year later, she said, there was a point in time when I started to work on, we need to do an intervention here. And I started making a list. I'm like, make a list of what? She's like, well, you can have people come over and they're part of it. They read. I'm like,
and they read
who would be there? And the first people she says is Royce and Beka and Neely. And I'm like, no way. I would be combative. I would be like, they're drunks. You can't. Why are they here? This should be for them. Are they going with me?
not that they have a problem too. They're drunks.
They're drunks. They can't be here. And they would be so arrogant they would be there. Act all high and mighty. They get their letter written out.
Steve,
how my drinking's ruined their life.
And you got it on your hair, and it was disgusting. We're disgusting.
I was sick during that time. I said my piece, Akeley.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we've been inspired by that Sopranos intervention of Christopher. Oh my God! If you haven't seen that, I don't care if you don't watch the thing. Just watch it on YouTube. The intervention.
Just watch the Sopranos interview, and that is exactly how the Steve Akeley interview would go.
Yeah, going down.
Me, Royce. Who else would probably be?
Bronner would have to be there.
Bronner.
Yeah,
Lenny Eckstein would be there. I mean, the list of people would be hilarious. McNew. McNew's there. The only person that actually has any sort of reason behind them is going to be Justine. The only one that you sort of listen to. And then you'll go right into McNew talking. You'll be like, shut the fuck up.
She won't even finish her letter. She'll just be like,
yeah. I mean, here's a woman who's fallen off a chair drunk on a podcast and finished it from the floor because she couldn't get back up. She's like, I'm like, do we need to hang up on you? She's like, no, I can finish it from here. I'm okay down here. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Off into something interesting.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I've already given instructions. If it ever goes down that road again, Beka and Royce are not supposed to be there.
I know you're listening right now, but definitely invite me and Royce because it will be nothing but pure entertainment.
Oh, sure. All right. Well, it is time to drink. Let's start with Della this time. Della, what do you got there?
Since this show is all about me, all about barrel-aged beers, I'm drinking this Firestone Walker. They're out of California. This is called, and they have a program, and I really like it. This one is a Kentucky Mule.
Kentucky Mule, okay.
Okay, so it is a blended ale with ginger and lime peel, and it's aged in a bourbon barrel. They don't say what kind, but I get it if I can, but they didn't give it to me.
All right,
this one is 11.8%.
Oh, nice.
It's pouring amber. Now, this is the score on Untapped is 3.89. That is not a good score for me.
No. You might not like this one.
5 is the highest you can give something. Anything, like if I just barely like something, I'll give it a 3.75. And if I give it a 4, then that's more towards something that I like.
That really is the leader if you're looking at scoring beers, Untapped. So
yeah.
They do ask your interests. Della, what are your interests on Untapped? So people know a little bit about you. They have I've never asked this before on a show. So what are your interests?
Red meat.
Yes.
Red meat, beer, nudity.
That's a trifecta. That's all you need in life. Red meat, beer, and nudity. That's all.
That's it.
This is why I've always known that I like Della. That's why I love it.
Who would list that, first of all, even if that's what you're into? Because imagine what the crowd then attracts that reaches out to you then. So yeah.
In the beginning, it used to attract exactly the kind of crowd that you think that it would. But after being on Untapped since 2013, now it's like they used to come into the private messages. Now they're like, oh, she sucks. She's not what I thought she would be. She only wants to talk about beer. They come along like, so what's up about that nudity? I'm like, well, you want to trade some beer?
I do really like when creeps use some sort of social media that is definitely not like I can understand weirdos doing things on Instagram.
Right. This is not a dating site.
On Twitter, even on Facebook. I understand the creeps on those, but it's always really strange when I get a weird LinkedIn message.
Right.
They literally come out of every corner of the internet.
It's supposed to be the professional
LinkedIn?
one.
Yeah. LinkedIn. That's where you. Okay.
That's where you're cruising for babes on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that that's happened often, but I will say that since I've had LinkedIn, which has been down fucking 10 years, whatever, I've had probably 2 messages on there where I was like, is this serious? Like, they're serious. Okay. That seems like there's a weird flex.
Right.
So I say an Untapped would be another one that I would think is a strange one for someone to think they should be sliding into some DMs on.
It's an app that is typically in the past did not have a lot of women on there. So I just think that certain men, when they see women in a space that's typically theirs, they're like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do.
It says nudity on there. I bet you wants to
I know she wants me to slide in her DM and say something.
If you're thinking about doing that on like almost any app, just don't. Unless it's Tinder,
here's the best
Tinder
practice.
or Bumble, then it's acceptable.
Here's the best practice. Don't.
Just don't do it.
All right, Beka, what are you drinking there?
I'm gonna be drinking some bourbon you left behind, some JTS Brown.
Oh, that's a screw top.
Bottled in bond, screw top.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, I got some New Riff Rye here. So New Riff Rye, about halfway gone on the bottle there. So I'm not expecting a whole lot here. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. That's our leader right now. I could win this thing. So, but Dylan,
come on, Dylan.
Let's see what you got there, man.
All right, I'm still hanging with this Four Roses Small Batch Select.
Oh, that was actually better the second time.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
That got better, oddly. So I don't know what happened there, but he got it. So there's your first Cork Pop Championship, my friend.
Cheers.
You can buy the T-shirt now. Cheers.
Yeah.
Works out good for us. Yeah. I notice people, when they win this, they do go in and then buy the T-shirt that says I'm a Cork Pop champion. Yeah. So there you go.
Hey, you got to do it, right?
Yeah, you got to. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Della about what's going on in the beer world, barrel aged. I enjoy those. I don't ever necessarily know a lot about it. All my focus is on bourbon, so we'll talk to Della in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward Certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking Big Bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Colonel Steve.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Della Fain about bourbon barrel-aged beer.
Yes, we are. Before we kind of get into that, Della, we'll have you kind of just take over for a minute here. But let's ask you about the one that you just tried. Was that good or not? You said it was only a 3.9.
Okay, so the average Untapped score was 3.9, and that's kind of surprising because Firestone, they really do a great job. And when it comes to barrel
Kentucky
aging.
Mule sounds good. I mean, that's
so you would think
really good.
Ginger, lime, like they're basically giving you their cocktail form, but it's $10 a bottle, just so you know. It comes in this cute little fancy box to make you really feel like you're getting your $10 worth. It's too sweet.
Really? Okay. That's
like when I'm making a Kentucky Mule, the lime and the ginger are what it makes it a nice tart, spicy drink. And I taste bourbon and lots of it. And so to me, it's giving it a sweet.
Okay.
Something like a barley wine, which it's not supposed to be. It's a strong ale. So in my opinion, I would definitely agree with that 3.89. I'd probably give it a 3.75.
There you go. You're even below that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, what else is going on in the news? Any exciting new ones coming out or anything like that? Things we need to be on the lookout for?
I'm going to give you my top 5 that I'm excited about seeing come out this season. In no particular order of how bad I want them, but there is a unicorn in the mix that I don't know if I'll get it, but I'm going to be hunting for it. First up is Boulevard Brewing. They are out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, there you go. All right, don't like that.
Their latest release.
Damn near local for him.
I've done a lot of reviews in the years with Boulevard. They have a series that is called the Smokestack series. It's a limited series, and every year they put out maybe 3 or 4. They do some rum barrel aging, and they do some tequila barrel aging, and they do bourbon really well. This year is called Magic Drip. It's a double stout with it's a wheated barrel-aged wheated stout with the Colombian coffee.
Nice.
I just
that sounds interesting.
It just started hitting the shelves. It's coming in. Well, I got 2 different ABVs. I got on the from the website 12.4% ABV, but Untapped is clocking it at 13.5%.
Okay, so maybe a couple different batches.
Yeah, and they do that. They do that a lot. Depending on what bottle you get, you'll notice that you get different ABVs, which I kind of like that. They should start hitting the shelves this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, we want to see our farm in a collaboration with them, since they're that close to you, man. Awesome. Down the road. I mean, it's early for you, but down the road.
I hear that neck of the woods. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Huge Boulevard fan.
Yeah.
So this one was aged up to 18 months in various bourbon casks.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot. It's important to me. Anything under 6 months is just, I won't even really give it a chance. But this one, I was impressed by the time it's spent. And you can get a 4-pack for $16.99.
$16.99? Wow, that's good. That's a good price.
I think so too.
4-pack? Yeah.
What they say you should expect is notes of rich chocolate, coffee, vanilla, oak, and char. I have not been able to get my hands on one yet, but it just hit the shelves last week. So I expect to see it hitting Total Wine in probably a week or so. And what I want to say, I want to preface with is every beer that I am going to talk about tonight, you can find at Total Wine.
Oh, that's
perfect. Wanted to make it something that was accessible to everybody.
Della, do they say what bourbon barrels they use?
They don't.
I know you're into that. You love.
I like that barrel. Right. I like it, and a lot of times when you get something like this, when it's mass produced, it's not just one bottle for $25, but you can get a whole 4-pack for $16.99. You can expect it's going to be a mixture of barrels.
They need to be sending you these. Why you need to send an email? You know, we get 60,000 downloads a month for the Bourbon Daily. They need to be sending you do shows saying this is what you need to buy.
I know they do. I need to get out there. Well, you know what? Every time I do a festival, I did the Untapped Festival a couple of weeks ago or a week ago in San Diego, and it was so much fun. And I was walking up to a couple of booths, and a couple of people knew me, and I was just like, "What?" Like I'm sitting there and I'm drinking, or some booths I just walked up to in line, just waiting, just like everybody else. And by the time I got to the front of the line, they were like, 6 feet of dynamite. Oh, I got something in the cooler for you. Like you can come behind they let me behind the curtain so that I can have
this is normal Della behavior. By this? Is it about this?
Surprised. I was because normal. This was so huge. This was Untapped. I was really surprised.
The fact that you even had to wait in line is atrocious.
I know, right?
Actually,
that's the surprising thing.
I called someone a snob, and they said to me, says the person with the VIP lanyard around their neck. I'm like, look, I worked hard to get this lanyard. But
that doesn't make you a snob. That just means that you've worked to get to be a VIP. You're not just some lady that's like paid money to get a VIP. Like you're Della Fain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
Della Fain.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, come on. Like she deserves that VIP like lanyard all the time. And
I forgot I had a story about that in the airport that I posted on Facebook about the guy that was like, this woman's a legend. I'm like, ew. And he yells out 6 feet of dynamite. And another friend pointed out to me, like, that's not what you want to be yelling out in the airport. But at the time I didn't think about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this Boulevard Brewing, this one, their average score, some people have obviously had it, it's getting a 4.23.
Okay.
So looking out for that. Okay, here we go. Number 2, Bell's Brewery out of Comstock, Michigan.
I don't know them.
Back in August, they released a barrel-aged version of their super popular wheat ale Oberon. And I know you've had it. Everybody's had it. Oberon, I think it's the correct pronunciation.
Oberon.
It's got a sunburst on the bottle. It's a wheat ale. It's one of those ones like when people like to put orange slices in their beers, which I don't, but this is one of those kind of beers. They are coming out with a barrel-aged versions that they're calling Oberon. This is the first time they've ever did anything like this. So Oberon is typically a summer favorite. So I'm only imagining that it's just going to be more of that with the citrus and the warming notes, but with a little bourbon in it. It's coming in at 11.3%. And I haven't seen it on shelves or no prices or anything like that, but someone's had it because it's got an average Untapped score of 3.94. So with that style of beer, which is not my favorite, I still am interested in seeing it because I've never seen a wheat ale that was aged in bourbon barrels before. And
I have seen this, the regular one, not the barrel.
That's
but
the one
I've seen that at Total Wine before.
Yeah, you can get that anywhere. So they have aged that in a bourbon barrel.
Okay. That's interesting.
So we'll see. I'm interested in it. It's not my favorite style of beer, but my curiosity is piqued just because I love things that are aged in bourbon barrels. I want to see what they did with it. They do a good job. I mean, they've got a stout that's like one of my favorites. So I think that I'm interested in seeing what they do with this.
Is a regular $1 kind of like a grass cutting beer? It looks like it's pretty light.
Yes.
Is that? Yeah.
Yes, okay. It is.
All right.
That's exactly what it is.
A grass cutting beer.
That's what I call those light ones.
You can drink them all day.
That's what I call you. One hand on the lawnmower, one hand on my beer. I don't drink bourbon.
Exactly like a tractor driving beer.
Yeah, tractor driving beer. Exactly.
It was released in August. I have not seen it on shelves, but I heard some people saying that they're starting to see it in their local Bevmos and their Total Wine. So eventually, I guess it'll come this way. Hopefully. But the number 3 is Lagunitas. Now, they have been doing this wood shop series for about 5-6 years.
They've worked with Willet before. Right?
And I was going to say the past 2 years they did Willet. So
which is cool. That's been good. I've tried those. Those
and
are good.
they do Willet.
Willetized.
Yes, the rye, and they do Willet rye. And they age them for about 3 years, which is a decent, because you usually can get a 4-pack of that for about $15. And let me tell you, that is a beer that you can age. You can open up one of those bottles right away and keep those other 3 for years. I've got some
cool.
I've got some 2018s, some 2019s. I think I'm pretty sure I've got some 2020s left.
I do have a beer cellar. I've got one. So
yeah, that's one that you get a lot for a little bit of money. They typically come in at about 13%.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. Those usually hit the shelves around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So you should start seeing those relatively soon. It's from their wood shop series, and it's usually a coffee stout. So if you like coffee,
I like coffee stouts.
If you like rye whiskey, then you'll love these. These are they never disappoint. They get better every year. Every time they come out, the barrel, whatever barrel program they're working with Willet, it's working for them. They do a great job at that.
Okay.
Number 4 is Surly. I do have a bottle of that. This is going to be a blended barrel aged Grand Cru. The name of the beer is 15. Now, Surly comes out of Twin Cities, Minnesota.
Okay.
This is their 15th anniversary ale, named 15. It's a Belgian strong dark ale, coming in at 10.3 ABV. And the average untapped score is 4.12. You can get this for about $13 a bottle. But this year they did not put it in a bottle. They put it in a pint can.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. Comes in a box too. Again.
Yes, there it is. I was gonna say it comes in a fancy box. Cool. Aged 8 months in Parker's Heritage Heavy Char Bourbon Barrel.
Yes,
I'm excited about it. That heavy char barrel is got
perfect selection.
My ears perked up. So I have a bottle of that. I'm gonna wait. Maybe I'll open it when the house is finished.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good celebration one.
It was, like I said, 8 months in Parker's Heritage Heavy Char Bourbon Barrels, then back blended with a touch of High West Rye Wild Ale. Wild ales are typically a fermented like sour ale. I know I'm not a huge fan of them, but from what I heard, you get sweet, you get tartness from the wild ale, you get some honey, you get some vanilla. So I'm thinking it's, and then they say you get dark fruit notes. So I'm expecting it to be closer to a barley wine than a dark ale. Dark ales typically are syrupier and maltier, but barley wines are usually sweeter. So with this milk chocolate they're saying and the dark fruit notes, I'm expecting it to be closer to a barley wine. Either way, I'm excited because I'm excited about the Parker's Heritage Heavy Char.
Yeah.
So be looking out for that. You don't have to look out for that. It's in stores now.
Oh, nice.
$13
I'm going to get
bottle.
one of those. Yeah,
okay, I'm going to give you this last one. This one I want to talk extensively about, because I'm excited about this. Steve, I'm sure you, being a connoisseur of all things spirit-like, you have had Utopias before.
Yes. Mm-hmm. From Sam Adams. Yeah.
Okay. I have not. It's about $228 a bottle. It's from Samuel Adams. It is they call it a beer, but it's a blend of things. It's got some strong ale in it. It's got, some of them have Madeira wine in them. Some of them have, it comes from a lot of barrels, but the ABV comes in at 28%.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's illegal in 11 states.
Missouri, unfortunately, being one of them.
I was going to say,
we can't get it here.
It's
we can't
illegal.
get it.
It's 28%?
28%.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
200, about
What's it come in?
230.
It comes in a cool bottle.
Oh my God, the bottle.
How big is the bottle though?
It looks like the bottle that Jeannie came out of, and I Dream of Jeannie.
So if you drink that whole bottle, you're going to be wasted if you drink that whole bottle.
Oh God, dead. Yes, you'd be dead. Yeah.
Sounds like a dare. Come on.
No, I'm not daring anybody on that. No.
They release it every 2 years. And you will probably not find it in I've heard some people that just happen to be lucky enough to walk into a store and see it, but the aftermarket, I think, is ridiculous. I've seen some bottles for $500. I've seen some bottles for $800, but if you just happen to find it in the store, you'd pay about $230 for it. That's the bottle.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
Does it taste like beer though?
No,
I've heard it tastes like brandy, right? I don't know.
It's more like brandy. There's no carbonation or anything. You literally can open it up like a distilled spirit and pour a little bit and then come back. A beer, you crack it, you got to drink it.
Right.
This, you just share it and you put it away. So yeah, it's good though. I don't know if they used to be legal in Missouri because I would get them here, but I knew a guy who worked for Sam Adams, and I don't know if he was just getting them to me or they were legal back at that time. I don't know, but
I saw on your phone that price said $109. I haven't seen it anywhere for that amount.
That's an empty bottle. That was actually on eBay just for the bottle. That's just for the empty bottle. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to be like, what? Okay, so this is Dogfish Head Brewing out of Milton, Delaware, must have gotten a hold of some barrels, some Utopia's barrels, because what they have done is they are releasing about 4 different beers that have been aged in these barrels.
Really?
Yes. One of them is their worldwide stout, which is like they're super famous for, and they do a barrel aged version of that. But I can't even imagine what this one is going to taste like. This, so they're doing their worldwide stout and they're doing their famous 120-minute IPA. Everybody's had it. It's like one of the highest triple IPAs that you can get at a grocery store. They do a really good job. And some people even age those IPAs, which is not something I would think you could do with an IPA, but apparently you can. So this is coming out. They said maybe within the next week, I will be stalking every store until I can find this. I don't imagine that this is going to be on shelves long. I think that as soon as this does hit the shelves, people will scoop these up. And I can't imagine why you wouldn't buy multiple cases of this. But if you see it out there, it would be very smart for you to grab it and hold on to some, because Utopias alone is something that's highly sought after. And I just think that these stouts are going to be the next thing that everybody's going to be talking about that they have or they're looking to get.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that's Dogfish Head. They do great IPAs. They do great stouts. They're most notable for their 90-minute IPA. And they should be hitting shelves, I want to say, within the next 7 days.
Okay. So by the time you're hearing this, they should be out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are my 5.
That's what you want to get this fall, folks. Della.
You should be looking for, and you'll be lucky if you find them.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, be on the lookout and get them if you see them. That's for sure. Don't wait around because they'll go quick. Those are the ones that leave quick. So there you go. Perfect show, Della. I really appreciate you coming on and telling us about that. It makes my life easy because I don't know enough about beer, but now I know what to look for. I got a to-do list. So we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Dylan, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find us on our website at ourfarmdistilling.com. It's kind of a splash page right now. Our full website's supposed to be launched here very soon. And then you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Our Farm Distillery.
All right. Della.
You can find me on Untapped and Instagram under 6 Feet of Dynamite. And I would like to also add, you can find me under the hashtag Try Your Bourbon in a Beer.
There you go. That's her unique hashtag. So there you go. All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Over 3,000 shows, our blogs, our store, and of course, my book is out there too. So check us out at abvnetwork.com. Ms. Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you guys.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.